Gosh, I would hate if a tall, manipulative brunette just came into my life right now and just wasted 10 months. How long's our lease? Yeah, 10 months off my life. Oh, I would hate that.
I haven't gone on a date in all of 2026 and I'm 24 years old. When I was younger, I thought, yeah, by then you'll be locked down by the old age of 24. The last guy I dated was like, I like girls who go to the gym more. So maybe that's throwing me off.
Feeling a little controversial today. So Hinge, what is up with this new like active or showing real signs? I'm sorry, I don't want to know that they're talking to 15 other girls and like not responding to me. I'm sorry, what? Like, to me, I want someone that doesn't have a heart, but they're still messaging me. And like, what does mine say? Is mine saying that I'm super active, or is it saying that I'm not active? Because I'm curious, but like, it should have the option of turning it on and off, because I don't necessarily think that's something that's important. Like, you're on a dating app. It's not, I don't know.
What's good, guys? It's your boy Josten J coming to you with another video. Let's cook, boys. Let's cook. Alright, women admit they hate that attractive men don't need to chase in modern dating. We got action. Let's cook.
Something I've been thinking about a lot recently is how am I supposed to ever meet anybody post-grad? So I just graduated college like 2 months ago, but the thing is I just got home from like a 2-month-long trip, and so now I'm processing like graduation and everything. And like the one thing that I keep coming back to is how am I supposed to ever find a boyfriend? I'm from Long Island, like it's a small ass town, like there's no way in absolute hell that I'm downloading Hinge and like trying to use dating apps here. Not that I really used it in college either, but then now I'm just thinking like, wow, I really fully did not take advantage of the circumstance I was in like even a couple months ago. It felt so much more normal just to like go out and meet people, or like if I went to a bar, there's no way I'm not gonna, who am I gonna meet at the local bar in Long Island? Like I was on this like whole like no dating thing in college, like I just wanted to like be single for most of it, and now I'm just kind of like, damn, maybe I should have just locked in and like had a boyfriend, because now I'm getting old and it's getting embarrassing and I just need to like settle down. I saw this girl talking about TikTok like how she's only gonna date through referrals only now, so maybe I'll do the same thing.
Men aren't chasing attractive men, right? When they're talking about men, they're talking about men that they find attractive, that most women would find attractive, right? So now that she's out of college, she has to put in some effort, and she's like, wait a minute, did I miss the window? Because all the guys were right there in front of her. That part when she said that, that's her saying, i.e., did I miss the window on all the attention I was getting for free? The guys I liked, the guys I didn't like, just having them all around me. She's stepping into the adult world and she's realizing I have to put in effort, especially for a guy that I would consider. They're not everywhere anymore. And men aren't chasing attractive men that they want. They are not chasing. Why would they have to do that? They never ask themselves the question of, well, why would he have to do this? Because the answers would be clear. But it's just funny to me. Guys think when they're younger, they have all the selection, which is true when they're in the mix of things. Mid-20s even, when they step out here, bro, they're not getting that same attention like they were before because they had it all around them. They miss out on the access that they had. They shoot themselves in the foot. Let's get the next one.
Not talked about enough is how there's going to be a population decline in like the next 10 years. Because there are so many beautiful men and women out there that are not dating anyone. I'm going to be talking about this from my point of view and from a girl's side of things. Every single couple that I meet in today's age, they have met on a dating app. Now, once in a blue moon do I hear like, oh, we were high school sweethearts or something. But for majority, no. It is all through a dating app. And for those people who are in relationships, shout out to you. Honestly, you're amazing. Good for you that like all these dating apps worked for you. But for a good chunk of individuals, dating apps just aren't the thing for everyone, no matter what the reason might be. Now for myself, I hate texting. I feel as though that I am a big talker. So when I go on a dating app and like trying to start up a conversation and get to know someone via text does not work. The other option we have is to meet people organically, out and about in the real world. But honestly, that is very funny because it does not happen whatsoever. So this is where we're gonna see a population decrease, because no one talks to each other anymore. And like, tries to make a move in person, if that makes sense. I'm 24 years old and I have never had a boyfriend. And I think I'm like the perfect case study for this entire topic, because I'm a girl who in high school was a part of sports teams, also was in the performing arts, was working like 3 jobs. And I went to a 4-year undergraduate university, dormed there, lived the whole college experience, went out and everything, had the whole shebang, rah, and nothing happened. Now I am 1 year post-grad, which is so freaking weird, and I have been at home in the same exact spot working. I work full-time as a bartender, the place where you think you would be able to meet people, and on top of it, I'm traveling, I'm going out, I'm living my best life, and nothing ever comes of it. Now, this isn't supposed to be like some sad sob story. I'm not the only one that this happens to. Like, I have so many friends that are in the same exact position. So to anyone feeling like you're the problem, it's not you, it's everyone. There is so many people in this world feeling the same exact way, that I've never had a boyfriend. Am I weird for this? No, you're not. Something's in the air, and I feel like people are not pursuing it as much as they should be, because nobody wants to be alone. Everyone would love to have a partner in life. And if we continue at this rate, we're simply gonna see a world where no one is in a relationship.
You see, she's crying out the side of her neck, right? I don't like texting. Well, that's the effort that you have to put in. Nobody cares what you don't like. This is what I try to tell guys too. You gotta have thick skin in life. Forget the dating game. In life, you can't give the game resistance. I don't like this, and I don't want this, and nothing's gonna happen. I don't want to be rejected. I don't like the feeling of rejection. And okay, you're never going to boss up outside of dating, in life in general. So when you understand that, dating is nothing. Talking about what she doesn't want to do. This is why attractive men don't need to chase even more. I tell you guys, she gives you resistance. Leave her right where she stands. It's not for you to try to move her this way and sway her this way and convince her of anything. No, it's either she's going to get on the good foot or she's not. Men aren't going to chase you around. Meeting people doesn't work in the real world. She goes from texting, dating apps to the real world. You're not going to put yourself out there, then nothing's going to happen for you. You work in a bar. There will be something to complain about, even if she could attract a guy in a bar. Well, you don't typically want to meet your partner in a bar. You understand? They're young and they're still not getting it right. But the reason why they're not getting it right is because they're not adjusting to having to put in effort. They're thinking that life is supposed to operate when they're in high school, when they're in college. Life is supposed to operate the same way. And as a man gets older, the more he becomes attractive, the more he becomes aware. So they literally miss out on the window when a guy wants to do all the stuff that they come around and say that they want from men. Let's get the next one.
So I am a serial Hinge deleter and re-downloader, and I don't just like pause my profile and delete the app. I delete the whole account every single time, because that's the only way for me to make sure that I don't just re-download it the next day, because the process of setting up an account is so annoying to me. But every time I do re-download the app and remake a profile, I get like a group of the same guys that send me likes over and over every time. And like sometimes I'll end up rematching with them, sometimes I won't. But I just wonder like what do these guys think every time they see my profile come up again? Like I just want to know, are they like, there she is again, guess it didn't work out? And it's like, I mean, at least they're not taking that as a red flag. I bet. And to my Hinge regulars, I appreciate the loyalty, I appreciate the consistency, I appreciate the continued effort. And the way that I use Hinge, or like the pattern that it's been so far, is like I'll download the app, find like a few guys to like focus on, pause my profile while I focus on like those few guys. Usually one of them I'll end up like not like dating like boyfriend girlfriend, but like dating more seriously. Like, okay, I think it's gonna lead there, so then that's when I delete my account. And then when it doesn't work out, I keep it deleted for like a few weeks, because I want to try to heal from whatever, just like learn, take a few weeks off from dating in general, and just like reset.
Once again, the effort of setting up a new Hinge account is too much effort. You can use the same pictures, the same prompt, maybe change the prompt, same pictures, but it's too much effort. Really? Check this out. When she's saying she'll get on there and she wonders if the guys that she's matching up with, again, the attractive men, are looking at her like, is she a joke or something? Yes, because we're playing by two separate rules. We're playing by two separate sets of rules. A guy sees you come back on here and he's like, she just can't get right. As a matter of fact, he might even nickname you Can't Get Right. Because what are you doing back on here? For a man to get back on there, they're just playing the field. Then eventually when they get off, okay, this one deserves some sort of resource from me. I can give some resources here, some extra attention here. I'm feeling her. She's cooperating. When you get back on there, oh, they just threw the fish back in the water. Men aren't worried about, oh, you got rid of that guy. They don't care. They just see you back out here. Yes, bro, it's a bad look. And then you get back on there, and once again, I said this in a prior video. Oh my God, I love it. They will rematch with you. It's not a big deal. Why? Because they see you as attractive. That's not good for them though. Guys are downloading information. They're learning the game. She don't got a problem after I flaked or ghosted or it never went anywhere. Of course she doesn't, because now she's on there fighting for her life to meet a guy that she's aligned with, that she genuinely has an interest in. But first, the prerequisite of you being attractive has to be there. So who's losing out here? Attractive men don't need to chase. Let's get the next one.
Story time about the time that I waited for an hour and a half at a restaurant for a guy who begged me to take me out on a date, only to be stood up and ghosted while I am getting ready to go on another date. Okay, this was about a month ago. I decided I was gonna hop back on the, dating bandwagon, and I was on Hinge, just doing my due diligence and talking to people. I received a message from this guy, we were chatting. The conversation was okay, but I ended up just kind of ignoring it and hiding his messages because I was like, I'm not really too interested. 2 weeks later, I received a message from him, and honestly, it's funny. He's like, today I feel like doing some charity work, let me take you out on a date. And I thought that was funny, okay? I love a man with a little bit of banter. He was pretty good looking. He was older than me, but you know what? I love a man who really wants it. And I was like, you know what? He seems very interested, and clearly he is trying to take me out. He's not trying to do some, smash and move on type of situation, because that's not what I'm looking for. So I respond and I'm like, okay, yeah, sure. We can do something. I'm not free tonight, but can you do tomorrow? And he's like, yeah. The next day I wake up, mind you, super hungover, okay? And I get a message from him being like, let's go to Queens Harbor this time. I'm booking the reservoir right now. And I'm like, okay, bet. And then he's like, booked it. Great. Okay? So now I have 2 hours to get ready. I start getting ready. Mind you, it is pouring rain outside, literally downpouring. And I'm like, oh my God, why did I agree to do this? Why did I agree to do this on this day? It's fucking pouring. And I have work later in the day. So I call my Uber and I get in and I text him and I'm like, I'm going to be 5 minutes late because I was running a little bit late, which I do on purpose normally for this reason, but I was already in the Uber and I'm on my way. And, 10 minutes go by and I finally get there and I haven't heard from him at all. But I'm like, you know what? Maybe he's just already inside. So I go up to the front host and I'm like, reservation for blah, blah, blah. And they're like, no, we see something here, but it's canceled. This should have been my first red flag, but I just kept going with it. No message from him. The reservation's canceled. I kept going. So now I'm walking with the host, and he's taking me to the table, and I'm like, haha, this is a first date, because he asked if I'm celebrating anything. And I'm like, haha, this is the first date. Don't even know if he's going to show up. Haha. Maybe I manifested it. I don't know. So I go sit down at my table, and at this point, I already knew that this man was not showing up, okay? Because he's not here already. I'm running late. But I sat at this table because I'm like, you know what? Fuck my life. I already left the house. I had a glass of wine, got dolled up, went in the fucking rain, downpour, 40 millimeters of rain, okay? And I'm already here. So I'm going to have an espresso martini, even if this man doesn't show up. So my server comes over to the table and she's like, oh, what can I get for you? And I kind of tell her, I'm like, yo, I'm on a first date. I honestly don't know if this man's going to show up, but I'm going to get a drink right now and we'll see how it goes. So I order my drink, I'm waiting. 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 45 minutes. I order another margarita. He's not coming. At this point, I know he's not coming. I don't even know what I would have done if he just magically showed up after an hour. I would have had to fight him, I think, but he just never came. And so I texted him, I said, boy, where the fuck are you? So yeah, then I just left and I went home. And I never heard from him again.
So Tommy, if you're out there, I don't know if you have needed some revenge against me. I don't know if I fucked over your friend or something and this was like some sort of sick game.
Shout out to him, because she didn't want to get on with him in the beginning. She was wasting time in the beginning. He wasted her time at the end. I'm telling you, we get our rejection on the front end. They get their rejection on the back end. So she thought she was going to play with this guy. Save him for later. This is how they move. This is how they move on the dating apps, bro. Even if you are attractive, they'll have interest in someone else and then they'll try to make you wait for later. But the thing is, men who are attractive understand the game better than men who aren't really attractive, who don't attract women. So she's thinking she's going to be able to play with him and then show up to this date. He's going to pay for it. Everything's going to go great. But what she didn't have in mind is he plays the same game I'm playing. If not, he could even play the game better than me in some aspects. She's not thinking that. Women don't see outside of themselves. Even when they say, he looks good. He could be my type. He's not my speed. I can see how other women would like him. If you're in any of those categories, they're still not looking outside of themselves. That's why when they get rejected, when things don't go their way, they're like, what the hell's going on? They never stop and think, he can play the field. I'm not that special. He, in fact, is the prize, and I'm not. They never think like that, and this gets them in trouble time and time again. But shout out to that brother. And I know what you're thinking. You know, two wrongs don't make a right. I don't care. This game is cutthroat. They're not saying things that are cutthroat, but their actions show you that it's cutthroat. And whenever they complain about a guy, doesn't it sound super cutthroat? But once again, they're only complaining about the men that they would consider attractive men. Let's get the next one.
So many guys on here are making up excuses about why they can't get a girlfriend, blah, blah, blah. Start with flowers. When I see you, I want to see the most beautiful set of fucking flowers ever. But don't start something you can't finish. Okay, so beware. If you give me flowers once, I'm gonna keep wanting them. Okay? Make sure you're opening doors. It might be 2026, baby, but I still expect you to pay for the date. Especially if you ask me. Pay for my meal. We're on a good roll. It shows, oh, this man has a way of making money. Good job. You know, thumbs up. And then let's just be nice. Don't be rubbing up on me. The fuck? Hell no. Hell no. I don't want no dirty slut trying to touch me on the first date. That means you be touching every bitch on the first date. Don't fucking do that shit. Start there. You'll get somewhere.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. A lot of guys, young guys in particular, you're not going to be taught this. You're going to be single mother raised. You're going to be raised by the television. Don't you ever buy a woman flowers. I don't care how much you like her. This is designated for your wife or your girlfriend. A girl that is so seriously loyal to you that it's abundantly clear. I'll go as far as to say that. Don't ever buy a woman flowers, and try it out if you want to. You're going to see that there's no need to do any of that. Now, everything else she said, opening the door, paying for a date, I completely agree with, especially if you ask a woman out on a date. But don't ever buy a woman flowers, because see, these women get on camera and they lie to you. They give you the worst advice. You know why? Because giving advice to women on how to keep men around, how to get men, it's not lucrative. It brings no revenue. You know what does? Putting men up on the real game. So they get on this camera and they try to speak to you like they're me or someone that's in this space, giving good advice like they have your best interest, right? But they don't. It's all about this. And they know that men are dumb enough to sit there and be like, she's pretty cute and she should know best because she's a woman. No, bro. That flowers thing, out the window. Because attractive men that don't chase them around don't have to do it. So why should you have to do it? Because she doesn't find you attractive? Exactly. Men who they're not really sure about, that they don't consider like that, have to go the extra mile just to get in their vicinity of them breathing. To get a second date, to get this, to get phone calls, to get time on the phone. No. You do not have to do that. Work on yourself. You don't want to be seen as special by these chicks, trust me. You just want to be seen as sexually desirable. Like how they saw the last dude that they were crazy about. Nothing else, nothing more. And trust and believe, when you have this information and you exercise your options and you move the way that you want to because you want to, you don't think, well, should I do this because she'll like this? It's rather, is she doing what I like for women to do? And that's the game. So this was women admit that they hate that attractive men don't need to chase in modern dating. Hope you guys got a lot out of it. It's your boy Josten J. Get with you boys in the next video. Like, comment, subscribe. Let's go, boys. Let's go.
I look for red flags as a young woman dating in your 20s. Let's get into it. He is the most sweet, amazing guy when he's sober, but when he drinks, all hell breaks loose. Block that man. The more self-worth and self-love you have is going to make dating so much easier. I feel like as young women, we use men to validate ourselves, which is totally normal because that's what society pushes on us. But we need to stop that and have more self-worth and self-love, and then we'll stop putting up with shitty behavior. Confuse a man who doesn't have money with a man who isn't generous. They are totally different people. Young men in their 20s are just working by, getting by, just like the rest of us. So don't let a good man get out of your hands because he's not paying for anything because you've seen this like fake aesthetic on Instagram. You need to work with what the men are working with. Like if they're a tradie doing their trade and you're in your early 20s, he's probably not getting paid that much, but that doesn't mean he's not a generous and good man. You need to look at the right signs.